This is definitely, say it with me here, oh dang it, inhalation hazard. They even still say that, right? So you always want to be upwind of it. This is the most dangerous stuff that I deal with. This will kill you pretty quickly.
I'm really big on the gut microbiome, the bacteria living inside of our gut. Now, our soils have bacteria living in them, but unfortunately, because what we've done in modern agriculture, we've destroyed so much of the microorganisms and the soil is dead. Could you address that for our audience?
Well, that is true. In most conventionally farmed agricultural soils today, you have an extreme deficit, not only in mineral density, but also in biological life. Most conventional farms focus on NP and K, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. The cheapest form of nitrogen today that a farmer can put on their field is actually, and there's a lot of it done in this part of the country, primarily on ground where they're going to grow corn for grain, is to use something called anhydrous ammonia. If you've ever seen a farmer out in the field pulling what looks to be a propane tank around, that's anhydrous ammonia. It is very dangerous for the operator, but also even for the soil biology. What that does is releases native nitrogen through a gas exchange process, but it's ammonia. And if you look at any household cleaner under the kitchen sink,
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute.
Most of them contain ammonia because it's 99.9% effective at killing bacteria. Well, it's killing soil bacteria as well. And so some of the things we've done using petroleum-based fertilizers, it's just been detrimental to the ecosystem that is the farm.
Yeah, Bob, I've gone to many farms that are conventional farmers, and you go and you dig a little bit inside the dirt. There's no worms. There's no night crawlers. There's no microorganisms there. How is it different on the soils that you grow food in?
Well, that's actually one of the things that we look at. One of the parameters, one of the measurements we use is we take a 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot square, and we will dig that soil down 12 inches. So it's a 1 foot cube, and we'll actually count the earthworms.
These little wrigglers, so important to our soil. We couldn't live without them. Did you know that worms eat their own body weight of soil every day? They break down the organic matter and that fertilizes the soil and make the food available for smaller creatures to digest.
That is one of the indicators for us to healthy soils. Now, we do a lot of other laboratory tests as well. We'll also do water infiltration rates. We'll take a 2 foot diameter ring and we'll pound that down into the ground. We'll put a known quantity of water inside of that ring and we'll time how long it takes for that water to infiltrate into the soil. Living healthy soil has greater water holding capacity, but it also will give up water as well. Water infiltrates it quickly when there's porosity there, when there's air there, which are formed by the earthworm channels. So everything tends to either work in a positive direction or in a negative direction.
I would imagine, Bob, that what you just described also influences how the uptake of nutrients are going inside the plants, how the plants uptake the nutrients.
You know, when I was at Ohio State back in the 80s, they taught us that roots of a plant were to hold the plant upright, to take in water and nutrients. And all of those things are absolutely true. The root of the plant does those things, and it does them quite well. What they never talked about was what comes out of a root. You know, we talk about photosynthetic efficiency. We talk about the plant's ability to convert light energy to chemical energy. But what they didn't tell us was that plants in general use about 50% of the energy that they produce from the sun. Well, what happens to the rest of it? It's actually excreted out through the tips of the roots to feed the microbiology that's in the soil. All of the minerals that are in the soil, we have plenty of minerals in the soil. They may not be in the right chemical form for the plant to take them out of the soil. The only way to convert soil minerals to the correct form for the plant to be able to absorb them is to be digested through the gut of that microorganism. That microorganism is only going to be in the rhizosphere of the root if it's being fed from the photosynthesis of the plant. So it's a symbiotic relationship.
Wow.
The organism is feeding off of the root exudates from photosynthesis, and then in turn converting minerals that the plant can take back up.
I've never heard that before. That is a powerful statement, and I think very few people understand that concept, and that's huge.
And Doc, we're still learning every single day. I had no idea that bacteria actually physically enters the root of a plant. There's a process called rhizophagy. It's being flushed out by James White at Rutgers. He's a professor there in plant science, and he's looking at the plant's ability to take in nitrogen-fixing bacteria into the root of the plant. The plant literally strips the nitrogen off of the bacteria and then spits the bacteria back out into the soil, where it goes and gains more nitrogen and comes back in. It's a repeating process. But if you think about that, what that really means is that healthy plants grown in healthy soils can actually have a probiotic effect because you're getting biology internal to the plant. We used to just think that beneficial bacteria was on the surface of the plant, maybe a spinach leaf that had a lot of deep crevices, or a lettuce leaf, even a tomato. You can rinse a tomato, but don't scrub a tomato.
Do you have any books on paranoia? She got real close to him and said, "They're right behind you."
Because the beneficial bacteria on the surface of that tomato is really good for us. And the bacterial flora in the soil, when the soil is healthy, mimics the bacterial flora of the gut. You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, that's an interesting parallel. I've never really heard that before. And, the bacteria in our gut, when we give it the right food, when we give it, especially the high fiber foods, which the bacteria have a frenzy over, they just absolutely love it. They actually then transform that food into what's called short chain fatty acids. If you found this video helpful, please do me a big favor. It'll only take you just a few minutes. Like this video, leave a comment below. Tell me if you've already used resistant starch, and let our community know and see the benefits that you've received. And then if you use it for 2 or 3 weeks and you found some benefits, come back and leave a message. Subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends about us, because we're helping one person at a time to live an independently healthy life. So until next time, here's to your health.